You've probably seen him running across rooftops, hanging from airplanes, and performing stunts that most people wouldn't even attempt. That man is Tom Cruise. And here's what makes it even more surprising. He's over 60 years old, yet he still looks and moves like someone in his mid-30s. Not just in appearance, but in speed, coordination, and energy. So the real question is, how is that even possible? How does someone maintain that level of performance at an age where most people begin to slow down? Most people immediately think of intense workouts, strict discipline, or elite genetics. But the truth is far more practical and far more actionable. It comes down to something most people overlook: what he refuses to eat. Because while most people are focused on adding more things into their diet, he focuses on removing the things that damage his body. And once you understand these 3 foods, you'll start to see why so many people feel tired, sluggish, and older than they actually are. The real problem most people ignore. Let's be honest, most people believe they are eating okay. They try to eat healthy sometimes. They go to the gym occasionally. They avoid obvious junk food when they can. But at the same time, they still consume foods every single day that quietly drain their energy. Foods that spike their blood sugar. Foods that increase inflammation. Foods that slow down recovery. And the worst part is, they don't even realize it's happening. This is where Tom Cruise takes a completely different approach. Instead of asking, "What should I eat more of?" he asks, "What needs to be eliminated?" Because removing the wrong fuel is often more powerful than adding the right one. Food number 1, refined sugar. This is the most important one, and also the hardest for most people to give up. Refined sugar is everywhere. It's in soft drinks, snacks, desserts, packaged foods, and even products that are marketed as healthy. But here's the problem. When you consume refined sugar, your blood sugar levels spike very quickly. At first, this feels good. You get a short burst of energy. But that energy doesn't last. Within a short time, your blood sugar crashes. And when that happens, you feel tired, irritable, mentally foggy, less focused. Now imagine going through your entire day in that cycle. High, then low, then high again. That's what most people experience daily. But it gets worse over time. Frequent sugar spikes can lead to increased inflammation in the body. And inflammation is one of the biggest factors behind aging, fatigue, and poor recovery. For someone like Tom Cruise, who needs sharp reflexes and consistent energy, this is not acceptable. That's why he avoids refined sugar completely. Instead of relying on artificial sweetness, he uses natural alternatives like berries or small amounts of dark chocolate. This allows him to satisfy cravings without damaging his energy levels. Food number 2, high glycemic carbohydrates. The second category includes foods like white bread, pasta, and refined grains. These foods are extremely common. In fact, they are a major part of most people's daily diet. But the issue is how quickly they break down in the body. High glycemic carbohydrates digest rapidly, which leads to a sharp rise in blood sugar. And just like refined sugar, this creates a spike followed by a crash. That crash leads to sluggishness, brain fog, reduced focus, lower physical performance. Most people experience this after meals without realizing why. They feel heavy. They feel tired. They lose motivation. This is not a coincidence. It's a direct result of unstable energy levels. That's why Tom Cruise avoids these foods completely. Instead, his carbohydrate intake comes mainly from vegetables. Vegetables provide slower, more stable energy. They do not create sharp spikes or crashes. They support consistent performance throughout the day. And that consistency is what allows him to maintain high levels of energy without feeling drained. Food number 3, fried and processed foods. The third category is fried and heavily processed foods. These include fast food, packaged snacks, and anything deep fried. These foods are designed to be convenient and addictive, but they come with serious downsides. They are often loaded with unhealthy oils, excess sodium, and artificial ingredients. All of this puts stress on the body. Over time, this leads to increased inflammation, slower recovery, reduced energy, water retention, a heavier, sluggish feeling. They also affect appearance.
Puffiness, dull skin, and fatigue often show up quickly when these foods become a regular habit. For someone constantly performing on camera, this matters. But even beyond appearance, performance is the real priority. That's why Tom Cruise avoids these foods completely. And he follows a simple rule. If the food does not support his performance, it does not go into his body. What he eats instead. Now, here's the important part. Avoiding these 3 foods is powerful, but it only works if you replace them with the right alternatives. And this is where his system becomes effective. Lean protein. He regularly eats lean sources of protein, such as wild salmon, chicken breast, and lean bison. These provide essential amino acids that support muscle recovery and strength. But the key detail is how the food is prepared. He cooks his protein at low temperatures, usually below 150 degrees Celsius. This helps preserve nutrients and avoid harmful compounds that can form at high heat. His portions are controlled, because his goal is not to gain excessive size, but to maintain efficiency and recovery. Berries instead of sugar. Instead of processed sweets, he relies on berries. Blueberries are a common choice.
They are rich in antioxidants, which help reduce inflammation and protect the body from damage. This supports recovery and helps maintain overall health. Leafy greens. Vegetables like spinach, broccoli, and beet greens are included regularly. These foods improve blood flow and oxygen delivery. This directly impacts endurance and physical performance. Raw nuts. He also consumes raw nuts, such as almonds, walnuts, and Brazil nuts. These provide healthy fats that support stable energy levels. They also improve focus and mental clarity. Low-temperature vegetables. He often eats vegetables like tomatoes, ginger, red peppers, and beets cooked at low heat. This method helps preserve important nutrients and supports long-term health. How he eats throughout the day. Another important detail is how he structures his meals. Most people eat 2 or 3 large meals per day, but that approach can lead to energy fluctuations. Instead, Tom Cruise eats smaller portions throughout the day. This helps maintain stable energy levels. His first meal is light. It may include egg whites and a small number of almonds.
Later, he adds foods like salmon jerky and blueberries. Throughout the day, he continues with small portions of vegetables, protein, and nuts. Dinner is clean and balanced, usually lean protein combined with cooked vegetables. He also stops eating by around 8 p.m. This gives his body enough time to recover overnight. Training philosophy, short but important. His training is focused on performance, not just appearance. He emphasizes agility, strength, endurance. He trains consistently rather than pushing to extremes. This approach allows him to maintain his physical abilities over the long term. 4 rules you can apply today. 1. Remove before you add. Start by eliminating foods that harm your body. This creates immediate improvement. 2. Stabilize your energy. Avoid foods that cause spikes and crashes. Focus on consistency. 3. Focus on function. Train your body to move well and perform efficiently. 4. Stay consistent. Small, repeated actions produce long-term results. Now you understand the real reason. The reason Tom Cruise looks and performs the way he does at over 60 is not because of something extreme or complicated. It comes down to removing the things that age most people every single day. Once you remove those 3 foods, your energy stabilizes, your recovery improves, and your body starts functioning the way it's supposed to. And when that happens, everything changes. If you found this video helpful and want more content like this, simple, practical strategies to stay fit, energetic, and sharp as you age, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, like this video and share it with someone who needs to see this. Your support helps us create more high-quality content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.